On today's episode of What Sold on Poshmark, sales have been really bad. And they've been so bad, well, especially so bad on eBay, that I have probably made like 5 sales on eBay the whole entire month, which is why I haven't even had a What Sold on Poshmark in eBay, because I've only really had Poshmark sales, and my Poshmark sales haven't even been great. A couple weeks ago I shared some good ones, but they're not always winners, and I haven't had too many great sales. I had one decent sale recently, but these next ones I'm going to share are not even really, no, they're not really good at all. This first item is this Alex of Bohemia jacket that I lost $26 on, and it took a year and a half to sell. I've been getting a lot more comfortable with losing money on items, especially items that are at a higher cost, and if selling them gives me like a better cash flow, especially in the moment right now, like I'm okay with it. And also especially when it's been like over a year, year and a half, even 2 years, and then also if the item like isn't getting any traction on it, then I'll just go ahead. I'm like, okay, this item needs to go. And I'll talk about later, like sometimes I don't always just am okay with like losing money if the item's okay, but in this case, not okay. I used to really love Alex of Bohemia when I was kind of like one of the only ones that knew about it, but then the saturation really picked up. The items, I just like spent way too much money on this item, and I was selling these jackets for around like $500 back in the day, and so that's why I had paid a lot for this item, thinking I can get like $400 for it, $500, because it was even a little bit more extravagant than some of the other ones. But that was just not the case, and the saturation, like I said, has gone up, so the price of these jackets have gone down. I used to, I keep talking over myself today. I used to source these jackets like consistently, and now I really don't anymore because of this. So not to say it's not a good item to source, just be wary of that. Make sure you're checking market, because it has decreased, especially if you knew about this brand in the past. Next is this Breckenridge blazer that I made $13 on, and took 9 months to sell, so pretty low profit for how long it did take. I didn't source this for too high, but I really just shouldn't have sourced it overall. I do like the brand Breckenridge, but I do recommend just looking out for their dresses, just based off this experience. We sell a variety of different clothing pieces, but it really sell as well as the dresses do. There are some styles of dresses that can sell up in like the 200s, so you just have to be really specific with this brand. You can't just like blindly pick it up. Next is this Hamet and Adidas dress I made $30 on, and it did take 1 year to sell. This dress got like no attention, no likes, activity, like very, very slim amount of activity, and I had it like relisted several times. And just this past time I relisted it back in January, I think. I added like the bridal terms, like engagement party, bridal party, like what else, I don't know, all those different bridal terms. And I always make sure to do this with white items, because I do think it helps the item sell a lot. And I did it with this item, not sure if that's what this person was buying it for, but hey, it worked after I made that change. Hamet and Adidas is another brand that has decreased in resale value. Used to sell in like the 200s, even like more casual dresses. This is a brand just overall not as high. The maxi dresses can definitely still sell for a lot, but I find that those are always really expensive to source. So overall, I haven't picked up this brand probably in close to the year. I think this is the last Hamet and Adidas dress I have picked up to source. Lastly is this Haley Menzies cardigan I made a $104 profit on. And it did take 2 years to sell. I was actually shocked when I saw how long I had it for, because it didn't feel like I've had it that long. But this cardigan I obviously had longer than that jacket, which seems so strange to me, but I guess it's true. It's what I had in my books. In this case, this sweater got so many likes and activity on it as I kept relisting it. So in these cases, I'm not going to go ahead, and I don't want to just lose a profit on it. I know I can go ahead and sell it. I just have to wait for the right timing, decrease the price till it gets a little bit more in line with what people are willing to buy it for. And also these sweaters are a lot more unique. There's not like a ton of them out there. So that's why I held out a little bit more for it, which I'm glad I did. So some items do just take longer to sell, but you can still make a good profit on it. That's why it's so important just to gauge the activity you're getting on items in order to see kind of how you want to play it out. I know I share a lot of great sales a lot of the time, but hopefully this shows you that even someone that's been selling on Poshmark for like 4+ years, now that it's coming to. Even I have some not so great sales, still making mistakes and learning from them, because what's selling on Poshmark is always changing. It's not just like static from what you've learned 4 years ago, and you can continue that. You can learn the principles, but you really have to stay up to date on what to source and what's kind of moving out, what more people are picking up, and how to stay ahead of the game. So I still have tons of those mistakes, and I know I'm gonna have even more. So I'm always learning, just like you. Hope that's some encouragement if your sales have not been great, because I feel like I'm also talking to myself at this point, because sales have not been really good. Yeah, we're trying to pick up inventory here. I've always been having each week like new items being prepped, which I didn't like all last year, and hopefully things will get better soon.